I'm your host, Mr. Rob French. Like I said, hanging out here in Rob's Arcade where the games get played, games get saved, so they get played on another day. Don't take it from me, take it from my good buddy Buck here. Oh, that's beautiful. Gosh, I love that. Every time I hear it, I absolutely, it just gives me the happies. And I'm happy you guys are hanging out with me here today. It is the beginning of November. We got that daylight savings hitting, get that extra hour. Hope everybody's been having a good weekend, enjoying themselves. I have been having a great weekend myself, a lot going on in the video game world, at least anyway. And just hanging out here with you is always a lot of fun, something I enjoy. Sharing with you guys this cool collection of Sega Genesis video games and just kind of like what I would have been up to back in the 90s. This is something I like to do from time to time. It's just kind of hang out here. I share a lot of um, new games and Fortnite stuff. But one of the things I love about my PlayStation is the ability to download these old titles and to have these here. I have a like a Sega little modulator system. Um, that's like a practical system with a lot of these games in there. Some of them are not included, so this is a nice little collection. But it's fun to kind of kick back with you guys and share with you what I would have been doing back in the 90s on a weekend, much like this. And it's a good weekend, actually. This is a cool time of year. Um, because a lot of the games that I played and got a chance to experience on the Sega, I had a good collection of games. Don't get me wrong. I had a very decent collection of Sega and Sega CD games, but most of the games I would rent. And when you get into um, the renting of the games, it's a very interesting aspect in the time of year. Like I was thinking about this, how fall and summer can change all of that, and really what that all looks like. You have summertime, and actually, like I remember playing some of these games with you guys, like going through some of these titles here, and it being summertime, and kind of like having those memories of waking up on a Saturday, perhaps renting a video game or two, but having the whole week to play these games kind of like uninterrupted, on the weekday, afternoon, evening, morning, whatever that might look like. As you get into the fall, though, a lot of that changes. A lot of that um, becomes, oh, we have school now. You have other things going on during the week. You might have sports or practices for different things, or maybe even like hanging out with your girlfriend after school and stuff like that. So I realized, like, I was like, wow, this is a cool time to kind of get into video games and the weekends and what that looks like as we get into fall. Because I would rent a game on a Saturday and play it all Saturday, all Sunday, because I know even though I didn't have to maybe take it back until I don't know, like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that, I wouldn't have as much time to hang out in my room and play these video games because I would have school and I would have to do other things. And it's a very cool time. So we're hanging out in my room like it's the 90s. We got a cool 90s movie playing. Well, actually, it's no longer the 90s movie from Dusk Till Dawn. The sequels have been cycling through from Dusk Till Dawn 2 and 3. Hangman's Daughter. It seems like they're always going into like the Wild West with some of these. Like I was like watching Tremors the other day, and they have a movie where they go into the Wild West, and this one too. Like I don't know, it's kind of interesting. The Hangman's Daughter, the prequel to the 1990s. Let's see. Let's go back and actually put that on real quick. Bear with me here. I want to put on a 90s. I want to put on a 90s movie. I want to make sure this is accurate here. Oh, this is good. Let's put on some Adam's Family. Perfect. Perfecto. Put on some Adam's Family, and we will play some Galaxy Force. We're going to go into space. A lot of times they would go into space too. Like I feel like that's kind of the thing. Like movies, they either go into the old west, like Tremors, CRI. It kind of looks like some Terminator logo. Um, Whoa, look at that spinning too. I feel like they would go into like space or I guess the old west. Like Jason goes into space. The Leprechaun, Critters. Well, Critters are kind of from space, so I guess that makes more sense. But I feel like the first three take place on Earth, and then by the fourth one, it's like Critters in space. So it seems to kind of be like a theme here. And we are going into space, it looks like, with this kind of shooter game. This would have been such a disappointment. I can already tell. 1988, remastered by CRI. Remember CRI, everybody? We have an options menu here. You can do like a sound test, music test. I was actually telling a really fun story. I'm not going to like this game. I can already tell. So I'm going to tell a little story here as we were like looking at some of the options where I remember I was about 13 years old, and a buddy of mine decided we were going to do order a pizza. My parents weren't home, but they left us money or whatever to order pizza, and so we're going to order pizza, hang out, play video games. And it was just, you know, um, the two of us playing. I think the game was Lethal Enforcers. Left turn, right turn. Roger. Shot. Missile. So anyway, um, we thought it'd be funny. Like, let's Home Alone this guy, right? Like, well, if I just told the story yesterday to Buck because it just some of the sound effects reminded me. It was like the breaking of the fences in this game. I was like, this sounds like a gunshot, and it just reminded me like there was this um, time we decided like we're gonna call a pizza in, and like when the guy shows up, we're gonna turn my speakers really loud because I had my video game system hooked up to like a like a stereo kind of like it wasn't surround. And so the doorbell rings or whatever, somebody knocks. I don't think our doorbell works. So anyway, somebody knocks, and we just start like hit the A button and like I'm like switching guns and weapons and just like AKs and Uzis and just like whatever this guy did to get shot by this many different guns and this many different times. It must have been awful. And I look out the window to kind of like get the reaction, like, oh, what's the pizza dude? And I'm like, oh my God, it's our neighbor. And he just looked like so done, kind of a thing. Like, I've got other pizzas to deliver. Will you please answer the goddamn door and pay for this pizza? So we go to pay for the pizza, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And our neighbor is not only pissed off about this situation and like having to wait for us to come to the door and like pay for these pizzas, but apparently, and I can't remember the exact scenario, but like either we were playing basketball because he had the basketball court in his backyard. We were like playing basketball when he wasn't there, and like something got broken, or somebody like actually like went into his house and like took something, and he was like blaming me and my friends for it. And I can't, I probably was there. I do remember hanging out with like some pretty seedy guys back in the day, and it's quite possibly somebody would like have broken a screen or had done something. But I just remember being like this small, like so small. Like I was like 13 years old, and he was just like, like here's your goddamn pizza, and stay out of my yard. Don't go in my house. Stay out of my shit, kind of a thing. And I was just like, oh yeah, okay.
Roger. 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 Right turn. Left turn. Left turn. Right turn. Right turn.
The helicopter or plane, I pit kind of like joystick, and using that might have actually made this game a bit better to control and a bit more fun. I actually had a giant it's like a square shelf. Actually, it was from a white shelf that I had, and it was the white shelf from it. It's like a pretty large flat white shelf, and I would put it in my lap and use the suction cups on the bottom of the controller. The little airplane. I'm gonna run out of energy. Like a little thing, and put the controller on top. Oh, look at that! I beat my own high score, bro. And I would use that in a lot of different like airplane and helicopter type games, and it made it a lot more fun. So I don't know. Maybe if I used something like that, it might be a bit more fun. I don't know. But so far, I mean, this isn't by far one of the worst games I've played on this collection or in SEGA in its entirety. So, oh, okay. So that was the next one, right? Yeah. Okay. So that was the next level. It says mission 1, though. Oh, I guess you can play them in any order, maybe. And so, like, this is, even though it's whatever level C scene 3, whatever. It's like an apartment. It's like apartment numbers. from lack of fuel and just trying to land the damn plane
Right turn.
um, than I did from enemies.
Left turn. Left turn.
It seems like kind of the same. Like you're more prone to just to run out of fuel. Than you are to actually, like, I guess, fall victim to. Well, like now my energy's way up. Do I just get energy just for like blowing things up? I'm so confused. I'm kind of judging this game, I guess, with like my almost now 45-year-old mind, based off of the games and things that I play nowadays. But honestly, I don't know. I think if I had this game, if I had rented this back in 1991 or 1992 or even 1993 even,
Left turn.
I don't know. This actually might have been something I would have like really enjoyed, to be honest. Like I said, I'm thinking about using the like the airplane joystick for this, and
Right turn.
again, um,
Turn.
just oh, utilizing my
Left turn.
my free weekend just to get some game time in and play something different. So I don't know. This might have been actually something like I was like, no, I can do this. A little interesting. I like the, even though they're somewhat primitive, some of these backgrounds are pretty cool with like the planets. You know, and, like you can kind of like get a scope of all these different planetoid systems going on in the background as you're fighting. Not the worst. Alright, so that just dropped a power up. The one thing I can't tell though is, like I said B, I think fires, and then A and C are supposed to speed you up and slow you down. But even when I'm pressing those, like the bottom, like it feels like how those, like, you got the dark gray and the light gray lines as the ground there. I can't tell. When I press those, if I'm going any faster or slower, like it just doesn't really seem to be doing anything. Right turn!
Left turn.
No, left turn! Let's just see it. Oh. What happened? What happened? Oh. Timer's going off anyway. Let's go ahead and let's head. Oh, wait. Dude, I keep beating my own score, though. That's pretty rad. I don't know. The fact that I keep beating my own score might have kept me going back and back all weekend long. That was
Roger.
something like, so I don't know. I guess these will stay saved in this game, but nobody else is going to play this, you know? That might have been cool to put all of the Robs and Bobs in the high score, and then you know you take the game back, and um, that's what everybody would have seen. Although I probably would have had to put in some real work to beat any scores on a game that was rented, because most likely there would have been um, some real scores put in there that I would have had to really beat. This is kind of like a fresh game. So I guess anything I do is going to wind up being a high score. Well, this was a high point for my day. A little coffee there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Spending a little time here in Rob's Arcade. Probably watch a little Adam's Family and play some Galaxy Force 2 here on the um, Sega Genesis. Uh, Coming up next, we will be doing a dive into Golden Axe, which I have looked at before, but it's definitely one of those titles that I really enjoyed when I was growing up. Um, Definitely a go-to for some of my friends and I, so I'm going to enjoy talking about that. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss that, as well as some of the other videos I do. I do a lot of other stuff here on Rob's Arcade. So if this is your first time here, first time offender, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Go ahead and share, like, leave a comment for me. I would love that. And like I said, look forward to some talk about Golden Axe. I've actually got some new stories. It's an old title, but I've actually got some new stories about Golden Axe, some pretty recent ones as well. So again, even though I've done some videos on Golden Axe, it's going to be fun to kind of take a look at that title again. Um, and just thanks for hanging out with me here. Like I said, going through Galaxy Force 2. I can't imagine what Galaxy Force 1 might have looked like. But here we have, like I said, a time where we were just like, I think, literally trying to capitalize on Star Wars and movies like Alien, like anything that was successful, like back in the day, like Star Wars or anything, the Alien franchise. Like, how can we make video games that kind of capitalize on those ideas? And excuse me, you can almost see like the X-wing kind of looking ship that you were flying, and the whole force and the title really lends itself to the Star Wars kind of theme. So yeah. Anyway, well, there we go. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Let me know what you think of this title. If there's anything you guys want to see me play, put that down in the comment section as well. And yeah, just thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you guys have had a great weekend. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of each other. Love you guys. And of course, remember, until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Thank you so much. Take care.